Hello, my name is Isaac Ward. Welcome to Film Fortress, where I review the latest films and let you know whether they are worth watching, buying, or recommending to your friends. Today, I will do a spoiler review of Soul. I'll also give you my opinion on the movie and how it made me feel. If you still haven't seen Soul, I'd check out my non-spoiler review up in the top right corner of this video. Also, please subscribe if you like more movie reviews and more insight from the Film Fortress. Stay tuned to the end of the video to hear a trivia question and 3 fun facts about Soul. And remember, this will be a spoiler discussion. Soul opens with the junior high band class and Joe Gardner teaching them. They are actually playing When You Wish Upon the Star, which is the opening song of most Disney films. This instantly establishes relatability with Joe, because every single band teacher can relate to students not really getting the music, and relating to the main character during the first act is very important in a film. This makes us care about the new opportunities that Joe gets, such as his new full-time job, and a chance to get a gig with Dorothea Williams, who is a famous jazz performer. We also get insight into how Joe's dad introduced him to jazz, and this establishes an emotional connection to Joe's past. This becomes very important later on. The animation throughout this movie is astounding. The Jazz Club, The Great Before, The Great Beyond, you see blues, purples, you name it, and they're all bright and beautiful colors. When Joe is in The Great Before, we meet Jerry, who is like that friend that doesn't leave you alone, but you know that they're telling you something important. Then we see the You Seminars, which is basically a theater where a bunch of souls talk about how they're going to find their passion, and it talks about the Hall of Everything and other places that you can find your personality and your passion. I love the concept of having a spark or a passion, and having access to a mentor to help you along your journey towards that passion. Joe, I felt, was a perfect mentor for 22, because Joe has just gotten fruition from his passion, and 22 doesn't really know what her passion is. This movie also does excellent with mixing humor and drama. For example, 22 has been mentored by many historical figures, including Abraham Lincoln. However, this humor demonstrates a point of 22 not finding her spark. After they visit the Great Before, we are introduced to Terry, who is the accountant at the Great Before. He is also the antagonist of this film. He keeps track of the souls before they go to the Great Beyond to die. However, he notices that the soul count is off. He goes in the archives to dig up information on Joe. I like how Terry has his purpose in this movie based on his occupation, instead of not having any motivation for the actions that he takes. Villains, such as General Zod from Man of Steel, don't really have a motivation for carrying out their antagonistic acts. Terry also isn't inherently evil, and an argument can actually be had of whether there actually is a villain of this film. I also liked how all the souls were given unique personalities. They would enter personality buildings to build their personality, and each of them would all be unique. Honestly, when we get new opportunities and enter new buildings in life, this opens up doors to new opportunities and new things that we may not have ever experienced before. And our personalities can change as a result of this. It all depends on what we do with the opportunities that we're given. However, I believe we must be true to our personality and live an honest life. I also liked the Mystics Without Borders because they brought a spiritual and nirvana element to this film that other Pixar films have never touched upon. Now, let's talk about the turning point of this film. The turning point occurs when Moonwind, who is the leader of the Mystics Without Borders, tells Joe to find his body, and Joe finds his body in a hospital and falls to Earth again with 22. However, 22 falls into Joe's body, and Joe falls into a cat's body. This takes up about half of the running time of the film. And I really liked this fresh take on the fish out of water scenario, because although Joe is in a place that he's familiar with, he's not even in his own body. They must find Moonwind and find a way to get Joe back to his body. However, Joe's performance with Dorothea is coming up that week. There are 3 interesting, notable scenes that I think are in this film, where Cat Joe gives 22 a piece of pizza and she eats it and she loves it because she's never had pizza before. And that is something that we take for granted in this society. And when 22 listens to one of Joe's players from his junior high band that is about to quit, but she encourages her not to quit. This shows that when we have a passion, we should run with it and try not to quit on it. And when 22 visits Dez, the barber, and he shows her how that is his passion. These scenes express the overall theme of this film, which is that our purpose in life is to live itself. 22 lives Joe's life in these scenes and finds out that her spark is just to live. Performing for Dorothea is also an opportunity that allows Joe to see his meaning in life. Once 22 gets her spark, she returns to Earth, and Joe has to leave her behind in the Great Before. He then has to go to the Great Beyond because he was the miscounted soul. This is where I was asking myself, is Joe going to die? I believe if they had Joe die, the emotional impact would be a lot stronger than what it is. This is because he would have essentially given life and purpose to 22 and sacrificed himself. That would have been a very powerful thing to do. However, he's given a second chance at life because he inspired Jerry and everyone else in the Great Before when he mentored 22. Furthermore, I believe that this film was worth watching, and I'd recommend it to friends who haven't seen it yet. Now, I'm going to give you a trivia question that pertains to this movie, so feel free to pause the video and guess your answer. Here's the question. The animation for Jerry and Terry was inspired by what? A. Casper the Friendly Ghost. B. The macOS Finder icon. C. Common pastry cutters. Or D. Air dancers outside of grocery stores. Leave a comment down below with your answer. The answer is the macOS Finder icon. Here's your 3 fun facts about Soul. Fun fact number 1. Did you know that during the 5 years of development, the team had 73,811 storyboards? Fun fact number 2. In the original draft, 22 was the main character of this film, and it took place entirely in the Soul world. And fun fact number 3. The character 22 is named after the paradox Catch-22, which states that the only way to find our purpose in life is to live. Please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed the Film Fortress spoiler review of Soul, and if you want more movie reviews coming soon. Leave a comment down below with your favorite part of the latest Pixar film. Feel free to check out my Film Fortress review of Wonder Woman 1984 and a spoiler-free review of Soul. Finally, remember, your opinions matter and deserve to be valued. See you next time.